Hello everybody and welcome back to Roadwarden. Oh my goodness, it's good to be back, especially after all the crazy stuff we did last time. I don't know if Howler's Dell likes us anymore after that, but you know what? That's on them. That's their problem for being jerks. We gave the fruit from the beholder to old Pagos to save everybody. I also just realized I survived a few confrontations with hostile creatures thing, so that's cool. That's pretty cool. Now the question is, what do we do today? You guys are gonna be so proud of me, I wrote stuff down. I wrote down stuff. So, I was thinking we could go talk to the tribe, of course. I would like to try and get a crossbow, but that's gonna be a lot, so we could try and figure out where to put the bronze rods, maybe go to Howler's Dell. We have a lot of other stuff to do too. Renovations, military post, bronze rods. We got a lot of stuff going on. We need to gather a crew. I need to find a boat. Let's see. If no one agrees, I can attempt a lone journey. Once I'm ready, I need to go to the boat in the early morning hours. From there, I'll gather my crew and we'll leave in the evening. Gather a crew, huh? Is it gonna be that easy? Probably not. Alright, let's take a look at our map. We are at Pelt of the North. We need to get to the old bridge. But there is also Howler's Dell, where we could probably get some stuff done. But maybe it would be better to just go here and see if we can get to the tribe. Let me check my inventory. Okay, we have some rations, we have some wild plants. Not very filling, but it's something. We've got a few dragon bones, bronze rods. We've got a decent amount of stuff. I think this is the best we can do. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? No. Okay, show me your wares. You have the crossbow. 30. Ah! You know what? For safety's sake, I'll buy one more of the 3 food rations, just for safety. Alright, we'll go outside, and it's time to travel. We're gonna go to the old bridge, and we're gonna see about finding the tribe. It's gonna take 3 hours to get there, but it's fine. We've got Joffrey. Oh hey, a boat! Can we take that? I need a boat! With no trees or crags blocking the sun, the road is bright and inviting. The simple bridge is centuries old, bitten by time. It makes you think of the dolmen you saw south of here. The torrent here is deep and fast, with plenty of fish. The boat is destroyed beyond repair, rotten, falling to pieces, with holes in the floor and on the sides, overgrown with fungi and moss. The thick shrubs lining the path are covered with thorns. Small birds are jumping from one twig to another, pecking at the brown berries. Knowing from the herbaria that the fruits are safe, you eat a few bittersweet ones as well. Hell yeah. Think I've read something about these fish? You see dozens of red and gray shells. As you walk by, they stay close, following your steps. According to the testimonies from a murder trial you've read about, they have long and sharp teeth, eat flesh, and could scrap your skull clean in a minute or so. That's terrifying. It's like that scene with the rats from Dishonored right at the beginning. Oh, the purse! Where is it? You kneel on the grass and look into the darkness. Among the cobwebs and bugs, you spot an old piece of fabric pinned under a rock. You pull it out and find a rotting, torn pouch that contains a single dragon bone. You make sure you haven't missed the other ones in the dirt, but if they ever existed, they've rolled down and sunk for good. Dang. Oh well. Joffrey peacefully chews the grass, enjoying the sun on its back, ready to take a nap. This is the spot. It's the spot from where I can move east to the tribe of the Green Mountain. Let's do that. You don't see any easy way to move east. If there's any path you could take, it's completely overgrown. The thorny bushes won't allow you to move without harm, and even if you could, you wouldn't leave Joffrey behind. Shouldn't enter the water. The fish are going to kill me. I don't possess any potions. I think we just need to cut down and make a path. That'll make it easier. It'll take a few hours, but we have time. Yes, let's make a path. Whoa! Oh! We look nasty and we're hungry. That's what the rations are for. The sun isn't harsh. As long as no beasts are going to bother you, you can expect a fair bit of carefree labor. The thick gloves allow you to move or clean the thorny branches. You push the plants away, then cut right above the ground. The stems are healthy and flexible, but with enough time and determination, you manage to cut through and throw them aside one by one. After a few hours, you feel hungry, but at least you reach the game trail. There we go. We'll prepare, pack our things, sharpen axe blade, and prepare for the rest of the journey. Joffrey peacefully chews the grass, enjoying the sun on its back. Nope, no nap time, buddy. We gotta go. Oh yeah, we gotta go back to Old Pagos too. We'll do that later. It wouldn't be wise to ride through a lush meadow. There are animal pits and molehills, and the ground is covered with old roots, rocks, and mounds. Putting more weight on Joffrey could turn any stumble into a broken leg. You lead it by the reins, keeping a look around. Such lands are a common hunting ground for dragonlings, or cats that sneak in the grass. Ooh, terrifying. But so cute, why can't I pet it? Finally, you reach a narrow game trail. The rest of the journey should be easier. Let's follow it then. Off we go. Ooh, I see bones. That might not be good. The trail turns into a wider path and leads you to a rocky hill. Joffrey quenches its thirst, so you fill up your water skin. The trees by the road still bear signs of past trimming, giving shadow to old herbal patches now overgrown. There's a bunch of fruits and edible leaves in sight, though all the vegetables were already dug out by rabbits. You glance at the cave's entrance and let out a sigh at the sight of bones. You could hardly squeeze inside. Fortunately, the path forward is clear. Let's forage for plants first. There we go. You pick apples and plums, but have to spend some time throwing away those that give home to worms and ants. The wild strawberries are tiny but delicious. The sword fruits are already rotting among the grasses. Aw. When it comes to vegetables, there's still plenty of them. A home dweller could turn them into a stew, but as a traveler, you limit those to those you can eat raw. Cabbages, lettuce, and a few types of sorrel from purple to pink. You leave the onions behind. What? But, aw. We could saute some. I definitely don't have a cast iron, but we can improvise. We'll wash everything in the stream and spread the plants among my bundles. Can we clean ourselves in the stream? You sit down in the creek and wash yourself like in a bathtub. The oak ash soap you own is not enough to help you get cleaner. Dang. That didn't do anything. You need at least 2 pieces of bathing equipment to get more out of this place. Okay. I'm just a dirty little guy. And now here's where I be stupid. I can't... Look, there's a cave, and it might as well be a big red button, because I'm going to push it. I tether Joffrey to a withered shrub. I take my axe and approach the cave. You prepare a torch, the rope, your gloves. You can't get too far away without putting Joffrey in danger, so you don't take any food. Let's see, can I even get in? You should be able to squeeze in. Uh-oh. A ghastly screech cuts the air. You step back, dropping a part of your equipment. A creature is running at you. I grab my axe. The monster looks like a furless, gray-wrinkled human with stunningly long limbs. You see its bones, as if the skin hardly contains the guts. In the blink of an eye, it squeezes through the entrance, bending in ways that seem impossible to you. You've disturbed the lair of a corpse eater. Uh-oh. Okay, so it's walking at me. Skin hardly contains guts. It's squeezing through the entrance. What can I do? If it tries to grapple me, I can cut its arms. I'll finish it off with a single cut. That's bold. I need to cut deeply, doesn't matter where. Dodge its charge. The creature jumps at you right away, with arms and legs spread out in a lethal hug, and you're too slow to react. Its arms cling to your own, pushing them along your sides. The legs clutch at your hips. You barely stand straight as it instantly tears through the gambeson on your back with its claws. The terrible stench doesn't help one bit. Let's see, lethal hug, arms clinging. It's tearing through. Crush its shell. You let out a scream and charge at the wall, making the monster's back hit it first. It lets out a terrified shriek. Its grasp weakens. You set yourself free. Take a new stance. Oh no! You barely take a breath and the creature is already dashing towards you. You jump aside, taking a swing at its back, but not only it ducks beneath your blade, its claws reach your abdomen. It pierces through your gambeson, but doesn't reach your flesh, thank goodness. It gives you enough time to return the blow. You send it to the ground with a deep wound, and it lands with a thud, crying in pain. It crawls away, flailing its arms in dread. Finish it off! You catch up with it as it turns on its back. You sink the blade in its torso once, twice, more, until it stops moving. Its raised arms stay still for a moment, then rest on the grass. The dark nails, longer than the rest of its hands, lie still. Your breath slows down. The carcass smells of unwashed sweat and rotting flesh. Burn it! You spend some time gathering dry sticks and grass and throwing them at the carcass from as far as it takes to avoid the stench of blood. You prepare the worst torch you have, set the oil on fire, and add it to the small pile. Then head to the stream to wash your blade. Is there anything in the cave? Oh gosh! The ceiling is short, but you can stand upright. The corridors lead to deeper parts of the flooded chamber, but unlike the corpse eater, you can't squeeze through them. You see no human skulls or limbs among the bones, even though there are scraps of old, moldering pants and tunics, as well as some odds and ends that belong to victims, a comb, an old wooden club, a hood, a leather belt. Thankfully, the corpse eater has cleaned up every scrap of flesh, so there's no stench of rotting meat. Is there anything in here? You return to Joffrey and unpack a candle in your tinderbox, then sit on the ground and prepare the flint and linen charcloth. Decades ago, before the southern invasion, people used fire strikers made of thick steel, but all you have left is a cube-like piece of harsh pyrite. It's not the best, but enough to make a couple of sparks. You put on your gloves and look underneath the remains, then into the corners. Your patience is rewarded, as you spot a glitter in one of the pools. You pull it closer with a stick and find a knife with a broken blade made of steel. It carries no sign of rust yet. You consider throwing it away, but the handle is made of polished bone that was engraved with shapes of creepers and flowers. You think about your conversation with Utica. This could have belonged to admin, and is likely still worth a coin or two. Ooh, awesome, I'll take it. Joffrey is looking around, flicking back and forth with his ears. Yeah, I kinda fucked that up, didn't I, Joffrey? I'm a little hurt. Let's see, can I eat some of these? Let's see, there we go. We're doing better. We got some plants. Okay, well, we're alive. Somehow. We gotta keep traveling. See where we can get to. I need a boat. How am I gonna get a boat? We'll figure it out. We have 25 days. Surely that's enough time. The grand brown and gray mountains are blocking the horizon, and you doubt the path is going to reach the snow-covered peaks. Without trees and clouds blocking your view, you're like an ant approaching a fortress. Oh gosh, I hope we can find a place to rest. I'm not exactly in the best state. Oh, this upgraded. I survived many confrontations with hostile creatures. Somehow, barely. Yeah, let's hope there are some benches for me to take a break. I'm very tired. And hopefully someone can repair my gambeson. I'm very hurt. Ooh! The unbodied keeper of the garden is standing still, with a dark cloak on their shoulders and an eyeless face observing the woodlands. Their club, more than 3 times as tall as you are, is made of a single piece of rock, and could squash you by simply collapsing, without anyone's will. A set of stairs leads into a convenient corridor-like ravine. The gentle wind carries no shouts or sense of blood. I see something among the rocks. One of the rocks placed behind the statue does not belong here. A dark basalt the size of your fist. You look at the mountain peaks and let out a sigh. You could use such a rock to make blinding powder, but smashing it into dust won't be enough. You have to perform the ritual the right way, ideally at the top of the mountain, or at least as high as you can get. For now, you put the rock into a sack. I really need to find an alchemist table. I have so much stuff I've just been gathering, and I haven't been able to use it. Where do I find one? I became a scholar and I haven't made anything. But I'm still alive, baby! I approach the statue. The statue's face has no feature, and the shell ends with the neck, revealing a dark space instead of a torso. You lean closer and notice the coarseness of black and gray gritstone, and how bitten by time it is. Both the figure and the sock are stained with white guano. Still, it's extraordinary work. The weight of the giant doesn't rest on its club, but rather on the boots, which are cleverly attached to the cloak. Sooner or later, something will break. Most likely the arms. Without them, the statue won't hold its stance. What if it reacts? I think I'd freak out. But let's see if it does. What do you try to do? Hug. The stone is cold. Aw. I do something else. Kiss. The stone is cold and coarse, not very tasty. Bow. It doesn't bow back. Talk. You introduce yourself and try to have a chat with the statue. It remains the same. Praise. You try to utter a simple prayer, but as the minute goes by and you shift your weight from one leg to another, you struggle to focus. Perhaps it's because I'm horrifically injured. What's the word for giving something? Or give. Either you can't do that or I don't understand you. Tribute. Pets. Read. Question. What words am I missing? Whisper. No, same thing as talk. Tap. Can I gift the statue? No, okay, I'll step away. I guess let's keep traveling. Maybe we can help out the statue later. There is another statue way over here. The statue of the woman. She's holding a long staff. I wonder if they're related. Let's keep going. Time is passing by. Seeing how steep this part of the road gets, you dismount. It'll be safer for you to get a bit tired now than to push Joffrey onto the verge of fatigue. You take a sip of water and start climbing. The road is winding and narrow, but it would fit a single wagon if it wasn't for the sporadic rocks and boulders blocking the path. Some of the larger ones are resting just in the middle, and as you look above, you struggle to recognize where they came from. They were placed here on purpose. Probably from people who don't want to be found. Unfortunately for them, I'm fucking stubborn. The strong wind, the wooden bridge connecting the rock ledges, the unusual terrain, you can't pay attention to any of that now. A creature larger than a bear steps away from its nest, then screeches at you through its sharp, black-tipped, golden eagle-like beak. It spreads its wings as wide as a barn gate. You stay in your saddle. I don't think I should look at the spear. Is that an egg in the nest? It's probably just trying to protect its egg, right? I'll just, I could place a bronze rod around here. That's what I should be thinking about right now. I examine the beast. Its movements are deliberate and confident. It makes a tiger-like leap and then stands still like a statue, while the brown, white, and yellow feathers covering the front half of its shell are still dancing with the wind. The wings hinder your sight, so you spot only glimpses of the cat-like claws and the clay-like fur. Its large chest rises and falls slowly. The noble griffin's yellow eyes speak only of violence. Its curved beak is longer than your forearm, and the talons on its front paws are like sickles. You don't doubt that its cruel promises may not only be fulfilled, but are a certainty. A single human with but a simple blade and a fistful of herbs would never survive clashing with a monstrosity of that size. You don't have more time to mull over it. The beast leaps toward the rock face. After it flaps its wings, the gust of wind brushes your hair. It's time to go. Keep going. Keep going, we gotta make it. We're so far, it's getting late. The wind's cold sweat and altitude make you want to simultaneously take off your cloak and put on some heavier clothes. At least Joffrey doesn't seem to care. You take deeper breaths. The path ahead seems gentler. There are no more trees, and you're surrounded by grasses, pebbles, sporadic brushes. You look down at the herbs gathering around the stream, the rustling leaves and the birds, large and small, flying above the forests of the peninsula. From here, everything seems calm. Too bad most people will never catch such a view. Uh-oh. A loud screech reaches you from up the path, where at the top of the crag you see a massive saurian standing on 4 limbs. It's displaying proudly its dark green skin with a bit brighter stomach, and orange stripes on its legs and eyebrows, as well as the tail, which is swinging left and right. The size of the monster makes you stop, but before you turn around, you realize there's a short woman sitting on its back, dressed in a red gambeson and an iron helmet, with green pants that blend in with her mount. You can't see the details of her hair, but she's not attacking you just yet, resting with the blunt edge of her spear on the ground. Her other hand holds the reins, attached to a bridle put on the monster's head, cramping its wide mouth. She raises her weapon in a greeting and speaks in a language that at first confuses you, but you manage to figure out a few of the words. She's using the old speech, the almost forgotten tongue of your ancestors. though in a dialogue so distant that you doubt you could speak freely with her. You think she's saying something similar to, "Greetings, traveler. Are you lost?" I greet her back. "The remains of old speech I heard as a kid. I seek the village at the edge of this path the druid sent me." This time it's her who pauses, then repeats, "The village?" She pronounces it so differently from you that it makes you smile, but you can confirm her guess. During the following minutes, you both try to get used to each other's speech. Whenever she uses the city tongue, she does so with sounds she's clearly not used to saying out loud, but as you combine it with gestures and the few words you know from the old speech, it's enough to move the conversation forward rather smoothly. Finally, she asks if you have a message for the chief or the shaman. "Tell me, I'll pass it to them." "I need to speak with them myself. I'm the local Roadwarden. I want to make a boat. We gotta make a boat. I have a plan." Even though she doesn't give any clear command to her mount, it takes a few steps forward, moving without needing to speed up quickly. After a confident leap, the beast lands on the crag right above you, allowing the warrior to look at you closely. "Roadwarden," she says in the city tongue, "like a Asterian to city folk." You nod. What do Roadwardens do, really? Well, apparently, if you're Asterian, you fuck everyone over and then go to an island? Let's see, what have we got? It's just a fancy way of calling a rider for hire, like a messenger and an adventurer in one. I'm meant to patrol my roads, but that involves a lot of bloodshed. I don't like that one. The city of Havlevin. Oh, I probably shouldn't mention Havlevin. Pays me for making the roads safer. Looking back in my last few days, I think I'm meant to do pretty much everything. I protect travelers and help settlements stay in touch with each other. I think this one works better, especially after all our chaos in the heart of the forest and in the mountains. So let's see, I'm gonna save, cause I'm scared. If she kicks us out, we are gonna have a rough ride back to civilization. This mountain is so long that I fear that getting to any inn or any other village, if we're not allowed to go to this one, is going to be a nightmare. But I will be friendly. I protect travelers and help settlements stay in touch with each other. You hear a monstrous roar coming from the mountains. The woman looks around with a raised spear, and when her eyes return to you, her voice is strict. "You'll find no ting for you here, as we seek no travelers, no in-touch." She pulls the reins and makes the Saurian turn around, then leaps away, up the path, staying on top of the crags. "Something's happening not far away from here," she shouts from a distance. "Let's not risk staying around. We'll speak in the village." We're going to the village! We made it! With only 4 hours to spare. Yeah, Joffrey, yeah! You ride through the corridor of rock faces, led by the jumping Saurian. The woman in a helmet blows a large horn, longer and thinner than a ram's, with enough power to cause an avalanche, and once you reach the massive wooden gate blocking the path, it's already open. The few people you've seen so far are well equipped, wearing heavy jackets, shields, and steel weapons, though some of them seem a bit old. Your surroundings get more spacious, with small garden patches and stone sheds spread on both sides of the path. Riding by the onlookers, you enter a trot, then a walk. The locals pay as much attention to you as to your mount, commenting on your appearance in the old speech. Unlike the guards, the workers are carrying rather simple tools, many of them made of bones or rocks. Their woolen, undyed outfits are appropriate for hard labor, worn and patched up but also heavy, protecting their owners from the cold mountain winds. The one thing that differentiates them from one another is their headgear. Every person you see is wearing something on their head, mostly ear-covering kerchiefs vividly dyed, with embroidered patterns of leaves, flowers, and gems. They are sea folk, no doubt about it. They have long limbs, hardly any beards, and the few children you see have uncovered hair, wavy and dense. Yet their paleness is unusual, as if they spend little time outside. Your guide is nowhere in sight, but so far no one has tried to stop you. Yeah, let's look around for them. We're following them. She awaits you at the cave mouth, where the teeth and tongue are so distinct you doubt they were shaped so without the villagers' interference. The crisp air carries the scent of late summer meadows. Aside from the discussions of farmers and guards, you hear the roaming wind and the gloating ibixes, but the terraces and crops around you are quiet. making you realize it's the first village you've seen in quite a while where there's no constant noise of humming water or heavy labor. You're safe here, but not welcome, you hear from your guide in the old speech. She's not the only guard in sight. The spears, slings, and clubs are getting a bit too numerous for your taste. We'd need not a rock from you, Rider. You weren't invited by us. Unless you have a gift worthy of our chief and shaman's time, we see your visit as needless. You realize she's more than 40, and even if she has a small stature, no one seems eager to replace her as a negotiator, or to question her authority. The accent of those who chat in the distance is so dense you can't catch a single word. I need to bring your tribe a gift so I can see your leaders? She lets out a dishonest laugh. Or why would they want to see you? Your problems are but a pebble in a stream, and we seek no change of the current. Do I have anything good? I have my wax tablet, a dragonling's paw. Maybe the claws could be useful to them? Not the bronze rods, I need those. Battle axe. I don't have a lot of good stuff. I really need an alchemist table. I guess we'll ask a few questions before I check with that. I'm trying to find a few hunters from the village of Creeks. Were they around? She exchanges a look with the other armored villagers to her left and right, but they shake their heads, and she meets your eyes again with a confident nod. We haven't seen anyone from that tribe in many years. I'm trying to find Asterion. She gives you a grim look. So is our shaman. She had some big plans with him, but I shouldn't talk about it with city folk. Alright, what about my possessions then? Does anything interest you? Ooh, I reached the tribe of the Green Mountain. That's up there now. Heck yeah. You pull out some items, but she spares them nothing more than a shrug. What would you want then? Haven't you heard tales of the old times, when the chiefs welcomed each other with the best things they had to offer? There's a playful hint in her voice, something of great value, and what's difficult to find. A sharp blade, a cask of golden liquid, spices from another land. No, I don't have any of that. Is there something I could do for you instead? No, she scoffs. But seeing your expression continues with the serious look of her own. Our mountains will kill any stranger. We spend years mastering their trails and traps. Whatever comes from the woodlands will bring us nothing of value. Don't you dare suggest we are waiting for a city folk to help with our troubles. I feel like pushing this won't help me. Let's see. Oh, wait, I want to see. Can we travel any further? No. This is the end of this road. A nest? The giant? Tribe of the Green Mountain? You're currently here. How far would it... We can't get anywhere. Everything is very far away. I would like to get here, but we won't get there before nightfall. Let's see. I saved, so let's see. I bring news of great importance, matters of life and death. She looks at the faces that surround you. Important to who? To a rider from a city? What does it matter to the farmers, builders, smiths, and fighters of the tribe of the Green Mountain? If we need help, we go to the lowlands on our own legs. Alright, I'm going to powder a basalt rock, if you don't mind. You nod to the Saurian rider and step away. You follow the unclear steps of the ritual, preparing the new ingredient without fully understanding how the steps you take make any difference. While the alchemical rituals are essential, you are never sure which ones can be omitted or altered. Will Companion, the air-like shell that carries Numa, see your efforts as sufficient? You can only hope. You place the piece of basalt on a larger rock, not getting in anyone's way, then spend over an hour breaking it loudly into smaller chunks and grinding them into dust. At the beginning of the process, a few locals, mostly children, observe you, but they get bored quickly, leaving you to your eccentricities. Once you fill up a small sack with the black powder, your hands are tired and a bit scratched. I put it with the rest of my bundles. Sorry about that. Magic, says your guide calmly, using one of the few words that sounds almost identical in both languages, and after seeing your nod, she simply points at the bucket, letting you wash your hands. Do you want my blinding powder? Oh. We'll find something. Can I sleep here for the night, possibly? She looks away and speaks with her neighbors. You recognize such words as shelter or stranger, but when she's not doing her best to speak slowly and clearly, it's as if she's using yet another language. She then gestures for you to follow her to the shed just a few steps behind you, and draws aside the curtain covering the entrance. The room is filled with sacks, old barrels, and bone-made tools. We'll prepare you a sleeping spot, and your beast can stay outside. The village is heavily guarded at night. Don't be afraid. Soon after, a few of the farmers bring a pile of furs, placing them in the corner. Move them to the center when you're ready. Alright, we can stay here for the night. We made it. But they want a gift from us. What could we make? Maybe a potion or something? I'd have to find an alchemy table. Maybe Utica has one? I guess we could go talk to her. We also have this broken knife. Maybe we could talk to Utica about it and see what she thinks. Maybe that's where we should go next. And then we can circle around to Old Pagos later, but we definitely need to sleep here for the night. I need to bring them a worthy gift. According to the guard, it should be something of great value and what's difficult to find. Spices from another land, sharp blade, a cask full of golden liquid. Alright, we need to keep an eye out for stuff like that. I think for now, though, we should go to bed. We have had a long day, we'll get some rest, and we'll head back down to Utica, and then try and make it to Old Pagos from there, maybe? We'll see. Let's just rest. You're sleeping in a shed. You're offered a wizened pelt to cover the cold rocks, but you'll be often disturbed by people patrolling the territory, and the echoes of roaring beasts. Beggars can't be choosers! Let's just get some sleep. You gladly leave the shed, making sure that Joffrey is safe and rested, then prepare your equipment. There's a few souls around, mostly the guards replacing the night shift. The Saurian rider is yawning. Without the helmet, she reveals her short, chestnut curls. She's already keeping an eye on you from the cave mouth. Okay, I'm going to... Let me see. I'm gonna... nom nom. We'll eat some wild plants, save our rations for later. And I can't really do anything about my appearance now. So I say, let's make a quick pit stop over at Utica's place. Maybe? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure what to do now. I guess we'll go here. And then we'll see about maybe cutting over to Howler's Dell and then Old Pagos. I think we could talk to them about maybe talking to Utica. But I want to hear what she thinks about the broken knife, so we'll go here first. Hopefully this doesn't waste the day. A loud roar comes from the north, making your palfrey stop. After a few heartbeats, it snorts and moves along. You touch the cold chest. There's no response. Let's wait. Oh god, that's like the whole day. It's getting colder, but finally the monster's eyes glow red. Go inside. I'll be with you soon. The stone creature lets you in. Okay, let's see. You're back. I am. I have a lot of questions. Let's see. Let's trade. Ooh. Spirit Rock. Okay, I can't do that. Have you ever heard about High Island? But of course, she says right away, but then leans away and glances at your boots. Though I didn't pay much attention to the monk's tales. She brushes her dark hair with her fingers, asking you to give her a moment. She doesn't share much with you. High Island is the largest island that's somewhat close to the coast, but its huge volcano makes it a worrying sight. It may be covered with green forests and hills, but no tribes aspire to claim it. You may want to ask Foggy. She loves tales of weird places. Ooh, that's good to know. She's not willing to talk about the bandits. Okay, that might have been a waste of time. We don't have a lot of time. We could get back to the Pelts in the north, but we can't get to anywhere else. Oh, we could get to Foggy, actually. Maybe that would be best. I think we're going to go that way. It would take most of our time, but then we'll be near Old Pagos. And we can probably ask her about stuff, and we can check in on creeks, maybe? I'm not sure. We'll just go here first. Kind of a wasted day, but maybe we could get some information from Foggy. Uh-oh. There's a hint of a strange stench and fresh claw marks left on the ground. A large saurian entered and left the yard through the lake. There are dozens of feathers scattered around the yard, as well as some blood stains on an apron that's hung on the fence. What? The place is messy, but quiet and warm. Oh, okay. I thought they were dead. Foggy looks at you through a hole leading to the attic. She gets down, only having one arm doesn't seem to hinder her. She welcomes you with a gentle nod. I have some questions about the peninsula. High Island. She leans forward, but her voice seems to be incapable of a whisper. You don't plan to swim there, do ya? You won't get there without a boat, and with a boat it's still a dice roll. There's always a drunk or two in rocks and howlers who says they've been there, but it's all rubbish. They've hardly touched the island's wall. You try to pressure her a bit, but don't learn much. She claims that it's high above the sea, on top of a wall-like steep cliff, and a rope may not be enough for one to get to the top. From time to time, a pillar of smoke flies out of the volcano in the center of the island. The whole place is green, with animals as great as dragons. Could it be store treasures, like the folks say? Maybe, but no soul knows where to look for them. For all I know, some child started a tale and played with everyone's desperate dreams. Oh, I see. Do you know where I can find an alchemy table? She points to a trapdoor with her chin. Oh! I dabbled with some recipes for drinks. I've plenty of brewing tools, though I can name maybe half of them. Still, from ales to hard drinks, I've had some successes. How about... I don't know, actually. I don't have anything else. Thank you, though. Oh, okay. I'm a bit of an alchemist. I could do that now, but first, try to remember, maybe there's someone you know of who's been to High Island? Maybe someone named Asterion? I know he's there already. She scratches her knee. How could I, dear? It's such a dangerous place, and there are folks who'd be upset with those reaching it without their permission. Okay, I know about them, though. I don't know. She's probably right. I should ask before I go, but I need a gift first. And how do I get a gift? Can I look at your brewing set? She frowns, but gestures for you to follow her. Don't touch anything. I've got no toys here. She gasps as she squeezes through the trapdoor. Downstairs, she has to lower her head to avoid the beams beneath the ceiling. The humid scent of over a dozen wooden barrels is free of putridity. Your eyes run over the trophies. Claws, bones, jaws, and tusks are gathered in piles, while the staffed heads of various creatures observe you with their fake eyes. Foggy lights a candle with the help of a tinderbox and leads you to a table in the furthest corner. The instruments made of glass, gold, and copper would allow you to brew even advanced potions. Bottles, scales, knives, alembics, mortars, a crucible. The jars on a shelf contain simple but useful ingredients. I could put this table to good use, Foggy. Please let me use it, please. Could you now? Her voice is playful, but her face is covered with shadows. You could also set the place on fire, or spill my stuff, or break this glass thingy. She waves at one of the alembics and heads back to the stairs. We'll see how trustworthy you are, dear. We'll see. She suddenly turns back and gives you a harsh look. Don't think I'll give you my stuff for nothing. We're in the middle of nowhere. Ingredients are expensive. You brew, you pay. And if I don't like the way you walk around here, you pay more. The rule of the tavern. I have my own stuff. I have my own stuff. Fine, what can I sell you? Let's see. 4 dragons. You know what? Deal. Come back with something I could sell at a profit or maybe hang on the wall. You collect your belongings. Alright, I think... Can I brew? Because I'm here? Or will she not let me? Alchemical ingredients. List of useful ingredients you can look for. Okay. I don't think I can use it yet. Doesn't trust me, doesn't trust me, doesn't trust me, doesn't trust me. Need to buy something. Iron scraps? Oh? Could that be useful? I don't know. I have 1 meal left, though. Maybe I should rest here for the night. Let's sleep. We will rent, and we will rest. I'm already so dirty, it doesn't matter. We will rent, and then we'll get our free meal. I know we just wasted a whole day, but we got a little bit of information. The alchemy set! We can use it! Listening to the grunts of the annoyed Joffrey makes you feel uneasy, but at least the furs covering the floor are helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's already morning, and while the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you who has to take care of it. That's true, that's true. Alright, we only have 23 days now, but let me see. How much would it be at the alchemy set? Ooh, we can do stuff! The table and nearby shelves contain precise tools and a decent supply of basic substances used as a base for various potions, bombs, or powders, but you'll have to compensate Foggy with dragon bones for using her store. Alchemical procedures take at least a couple of hours, which involve complex preparation of tools, mixing of ingredients, and maintaining the brewing process. Because of this, you have to be a strong shell and a sharp soul to make any mixture. Some of them can only be used once. Which mixture would you like to learn more about? Interesting. I'll step away for now, but I think I'm gonna do that. First, I want to see if I go outside. Do I still have a chance to do the hunting job? Oh! I can invite them? Okay, maybe they'll go with me, but probably not until I help them, so maybe we should join the hunt. We'll try it. Let's see. Let's hunt. Ilan clasps his hands. Then we're going. Idiot, take care of the horse. He nods towards the man with one hand. Ilan puts proudly a rope and a bag on his shoulders, while Zvi shoves everything under his black cloak. They gather by the gate and mock their companion as he toddles toward the lake with an empty bucket. I grab whatever may be of use and scrab Joffrey's neck. Good Joffrey. I'm sure this won't go wrong. My gambeson is horrifically bad. The lake's surface is gentle, interrupted by the jumping fish and shiny dragonflies. The statue stands in all its glory, observing the road and those who use it. The coin you left in the wooden bowl is no longer there. Well, maybe it's helping someone else now. A nice thing, isn't it? Ilin thunders behind you. It's older than our home. What do you say? Chips in Zvi. Do you have such things in Hovlevin, on the roads? Carrying your belongings on your own is surprisingly tiring, and you make noises with every turn. We do, but they're old, from before the war. He makes a satisfied grin. The war has ruined everything, hasn't it? All the poor monuments and palaces and temples and slave owners. Poor northerners. After a short chuckle, the larger man goes on. What sort of statues used to be there? All sorts of important figures. Heroes of Rights tablets, I guess this would probably be something that you'd see in a big city, but also probably this. People pay sculptors to honor themselves. We'll go with this one. To make themselves remembered after their passing. Both of them laugh. But of course! How else could be expected of those who have more than they can eat, says Zvi. After a few decades, Ilan points out with his chin at the statue, they'll be just like this one, lost to time. At least sculptors get some food from it. The abs and eyes of the statue have nothing to add. So do you know who this is? Nah, Ilan is more focused on the fish breaking through the surface of the lake. It's old, and the woman is a stranger. I heard no stories of it. My ma could. Maybe I'll ask. We should move on. Aye, let's not linger, says Ilan as he walks down the road. We move forward. I didn't say anything about the bushes because I was worried it'd be like, I did that, which is not the type of person I want to be. I'm trying to get into their good graces so I can hear more about High Island, not annoy them. The valley seems especially peaceful today. A couple of lizards are resting on the rocks, basking with no worries. Ilan points east to the large bird at the edge of the horizon, which freezes in the middle of a step and turns its orange head in your direction. See? Time to get ready. What's the plan? Because I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Well, avoid the beak, the legs, and the trample. He pauses, inspecting the loop at the end of his rope. And don't hurt it, if you don't have to. We don't want to be a bother. Zvi jauntily drops his belongings in the middle of the road and jumps in place, rhythmically breathing. After he takes off his black cloak, he reveals a set of fancy clothes made of black leather, clothes of a sneaky adventurer. It charges like a moron. Be nimble, that's all. 1 or 2 ropes on the neck and we're halfway home, but don't let it pass you by, aye? I'll stay alive and you do the rest. Pretty much, Ilan bursts into laughter. Just be careful, we don't have magic on our hands. And we can't buy another Roadwarden, adds his companion, so don't make this a bad trade for us. I'll save, 'cause we'll see. Wait, and approach the bird. It's taller than Joffrey, with wide breasts and long, thick, partially feathered legs that could easily trample your chest. Its thighs are thick and powerful. The pointy beak could swallow your entire forearm. Your steps are getting slower. Okay, let's see. Maybe not do the bottom one. We're not gonna challenge the bird, they may not be ready, but I don't want to look away. Let's focus our breath. You put your right hand on your chest, noticing it's rising and falling as the air moves through your nose. You can't take your eyes away from the creature's overwhelming posture, but as your breath remains deep and slow, you don't feel afraid, just ready to defend yourself. Soon the bird is surrounded by your group, and the pond behind it blocks its path of escape. Once it realizes that, it speeds up, charging in your direction. Alright, we better be ready to move. I take a good look at the monster. It's tall, wide, with a massive head. Its feathers are torn by the wind. They're vividly brown, white, and creamy. Longer than your handspan, coating the entire creature like a cape. Its steps are heavy and deliberate. The neck, as long as a limb, keeps moving around, sometimes staring at you with but a single black pupil surrounded by deep orange. The light gray beak resembles the leaves of the local plants. The tip is curved, pointy, and in no way smooth. It carries dozens of grooves, maybe a sign of old age, or maybe a trace of hundreds of hunts. I try to find this weak spot, it's just a huge duck. No, a respectable opponent. It waits no more. It raises its head and makes a long, piercing screech which fills up the entire valley. The feathers on its neck are shaking but also waving, moved by the muscles. It then flaps its wings and lunges forward, charging at you with full force. Okay, once it charges at me, I roll away, giving it a chance. I should try and rope it. I think my job is just to dodge, right? I keep my distance and dodge when necessary. The giant feet are pounding the ground, with every leap scuffing up clouds of leaves and sand. It lowers its long neck, pointing it at you like one would a spear. You do your best to find a balance between running to safety, jumping away from the beak, and staying close to hold the bird's attention. Its reflexes are so quick that you can't imagine doing all this while trying to strike it back. Yet the creature doesn't find a way to land a hit and observes you with respect. It turns around but stops in place when it sees your companions. It looks at you again, preparing for the next charge. I should try to rope it? I'm scared! Keep my distance and dodge again? Do I just keep dodging? Ugh! You do your best to find a balance between running to safety, jumping away from the beak, and staying too close to the bird's attention. Its reflexes are so quick that you can't imagine doing all this while also trying to strike it back. Finally, the beast lands a hit. Your gambeson, already damaged, isn't enough. You feel the stickiness of your blood, though in pain you manage to leap away and then wait for another charge. Grapple! You wait to duck at the very last moment. In the blink of an eye, you show up at the beast's side, pressing your shell to its large chest. Too large for you to wrap your arms around it. You try to avoid the massive legs, but the monster turns out to be as confused as you are, making an angry screech and trying to shake you off. The feathers are scratching your cheeks and getting into your mouth. Ugh! Once the bird gets rid of you, it runs east, not aware that it only helps your companions. That's when the loop lands on its neck, tightening quickly. We got it! And Zvi shouts cheerfully. The bird remains silent, maybe already out of breath. But then it dashes forward, so fast you can't help but step back. It either doesn't understand the danger involved in moving in this situation, or doesn't care about it. It runs forward, trying to flee. It makes 5 jumps. You hear Alon swear. Without looking at him, you know that he let go of the rope. This is a bad situation. I'm too weak to keep it in place. Oh, dang it, but oh, can I drink a potion or something real quick? I don't have anything. What about this? Dang it, dang it, dang it. I block its path. Oh, You barely manage to get in its way, but once it crashes into you, you wish you hadn't. You're on the ground, pinned by the heavy shell, gasping for air as your stomach is crushed. You hold the bird tight, tearing away its feathers without even realizing it. The monster is twisting in your arms, trying to crush you with its legs and chest, or reach your flesh with its beak. Thankfully, the rope around its neck gets pulled, setting you free. The bird staggers and can't help but hit the ground again. After Zvi ropes it with yet another loop, the battle is over. Oh my goodness. I think I lost appearance there, but like, I was already so gross, it doesn't matter. I stand up, step away, and dust myself off. That fucking hurt. The bird keeps trying to find a way out, but with little luck. Once it regains a bit of strength, it charges at you, but after just 2 leaps, it gets stopped by a second rope. It regains its voice, screeching at its tormentors, but there's something more hidden behind its previous threats and anger. Maybe pain. Maybe contempt. A damn good job, thunders Alon. He starts to laugh. You were jumping around like a monkey. You have some legs. That's how I've survived this long. Shag me, I missed my throw with the rope, adds V loudly, gasping for breath after a long run, though he keeps smiling with pride. At least the second try worked out. That damn bird is ours, and that's all that matters, eh? Yeah, but we should go. We'll have struggled to keep the bird on the rope if we get attacked, and I am very fucking injured. I'm barely standing. I can't argue with that. Alon stretches his large legs and prepares his bags. We're not much of fighters. I don't wish to pay you for saving us on the road. The other forager chuckles as he stays away, keeping the exhausted bird on the taut rope. We're ready if you are. Let's go, guys. I'm so tired. Let's just keep an eye out. I need to make a healing potion or something. Every few minutes, the runner tries to get away, and even though it's exhausted, you have to move slowly, paying attention to its steps. The foragers seem to know what they're doing, and at no point you feel threatened by the creature. Thank goodness. You keep looking around, but the other beasts seem to stay away. At one point, you notice a blue wolf among the shorter grasses, but it only observes you in silence, standing on all paws as if it's ready to run away. Your anxious companions fall quiet, but you keep moving forward. In the middle of your journey, you think about Joffrey. During your stroll, everything seems taller, and the creatures you pass by feel more real, as if they are no longer just shadows for you to leave behind. I miss you, Joffrey. I'm almost back, buddy. Being on the road without it feels lonely. I miss my horse! I am a certified horse roadwarden. Whoa! Money! Money, 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 money! Do you think they'll trust me now? Because I would like to hear what you have to say! Foggy observes you from the top of the stairs, with the hand resting on her stomach. Well done, dears. She grins at the sight of the runner. Tether it close to the water. Love? She looks at you. Be nice and head to Creeks today or tomorrow, will you? Tell Ephraim we're coming, and to give you a bone for the message. She glances at the man with one hand, and he scowls at the beast. Before she enters the door, she smiles at her son. Once you're done, wash your hands and come for dinner. Tell me everything. Tethering the creature to a beam takes you a few minutes. Alon's gasping for air, leaning on his knees, while Zvi keeps his posture straight. His red face betrays him. Well, says the tall man, I have your dragons here. Thanks for your work, friend. The ring-shaped bones are covered in his sweat. Joffrey is drinking from the lake. Good boy, Joffrey, good boy. Alright, I enter the tavern. The air is humid and stuffy. The tables were just washed with a wet cloth. Foggy is eating stew from a bowl, but when she sees you, she finishes it with a few large gulps. She welcomes you with a gentle nod. Are we friends now? Will you talk to— Oh. Can I eat? I'm very injured. Thank you. Alright, time for me to go. I'm going to the alchemy set. This time we're gonna do stuff. And then I guess we'll go to Creeks? Just to get that dragon bone. This is a timed thing, so we might as well, and maybe we can heal our Gambison while we're over there. Let's learn about the herbal bug repellent. You can't make all of the bugs disappear in a day, but you know the recipe for a strong, poisonous bomb with a tempting smell. It will kill most of the creatures right after consumption, while others will take pieces of it to their lairs and either eliminate their colonies or force them to resettle. At least that's what you've read. It won't help much with spiders, but the little ones aren't dangerous anyway. Foggy's due to rations, preparation time, 2 hours. Better get to foraging then. You look for wormwood, catmint, pale lavender, and wolf leaf, and you're lucky to come across some clover and dill. Once you bring them all back to the table, you start with your knife and end with a mortar. It may not be real alchemy, but the smell is quite something. At first harsh, pinching, then gentle and sweet. You add a drop of linseed oil, and the leaves blend into a green ointment. Wash one of the jars and use it to store the balm. Foggy sniffs the contents of one of the bottles. Alright, one more. We may actually want that too. The withering dust for removing bushes and shrubs? What would we use that for? What is the fort again? Hang on, let me look at the map. What is the fort again? I need to remember. Foraging grounds, statue of a woman, foggy lake, creeks, northern road, peat fields, ford. Oh, I see. Maybe something for dealing with the monkeys and stuff? That could be useful, but a healing potion might be more useful. I say we make withering dust and blinding powder, and maybe a healing potion. First, let's see about the withering dust. What would that be? A yellow dust that's meant to wither any plant. To use it, you should spread it on the ground near the roots, then sprinkle it with water. It doesn't take a lot of dust at once, so a single bag will be a decent supply. A bog friend picked in the middle of the day. I don't have all the ingredients. Okay, we need to come back in the middle of the day? How about a healing potion, please? Healing potions may be the most desired liquid in the Dragonwoods, especially among the travelers, hunters, and fighters. Oh, what if we make this and we take it to the mountain place? Maybe that'll be a good gift? The ones you followed so far are capable of keeping a soul on the verge of death, though it won't fix a freshly cut limb, nor cleanse one's shell from an illness or poison. It can only be used once. Okay. Let's see, the second recipe. You'll keep the rest of the herbs. It's 2 dragon bones either way. What if we try the second recipe? What if I save before I do that? You chop and grind over a dozen various herbs into a green pulp, making an ointment with a strong, wound-wordy smell. So far, so good. Then you spend long minutes at the table, constantly keeping the liquid on the brink of boiling, every now and then lowering and raising the small cauldron that hangs above the flame of an oil lamp. The boredom bites your fingers, but you don't have time to go and grab some water to drink. You think of the alchemists who spend day after day repeating this procedure in their workshops. Hardly a tempting vision. At least the room is now filled with the pleasant aroma, and according to what you hear from the conversations that take place upstairs, the smell reaches the main hall as well. You pour the grass green liquid into one of the earthenware bottles, then seal it. The potion is ready. I clean up everything. Let me look. We have a fresh healing potion. I know we should probably take it, but that might be a good gift, right? Maybe? Okay, we can't do any more... Can I? What else would I do? Maybe the blinding powder, since we did that? The blinding powder doesn't affect dry skin, but once it touches one's eyes or tongue, it causes a painful burn. A pinch of it will blind a creature for a few minutes, while the larger doses take away one's eyesight indefinitely. A single pouch will be enough for a couple uses. A jar of soil touched by a curse, an entire basalt rock powdered at the top of the mountain? I say we do it. I know it's 3 dragon bones, but we spent 2 on one, 2 on the other. That's essentially, we spent all of the money that we got from that quest, right? So we're not really losing out on anything, I don't think. Plus, with how shitty I am at fighting, it may be a good idea to have one of these, so I'm making it. You place the stool in a convenient spot, letting your arms rest on the table. Paying close attention, you fill a copper cauldron with an even layer of powder, then warm it up slightly. Keeping track of time with an hourglass, you move the flame to a different spot after every minute, then mark these positions in your wax tablet to avoid any mistakes. For half an hour, you heat the tiniest speck of dust, then open the jar with soil and add it to the pot, mixing it up with a ladle. You keep doing so until you notice the effects of the pneuma. The entire mixture suddenly gets clay brown, shrinks in half, and after you touch it, it's ice cold. You fill up a pouch and shake it around. You won't underestimate your new weapon. Oh yeah! There we go. My eyes hurt after the last potion I brewed. I don't know what that's about. I forget what it was. I already forgot. Alright, Foggy. I don't think you will talk to me still, but let's see. How many bones do I have? I still have a lot more bones than I thought. I don't know what the iron scraps are for, but I think it's time for me to go. We're gonna go outside. What about approaching the foragers? I was asked to take the news about the caught birds to Creeks. Maybe we'll wait to talk to them about High Island. Let's go to Creeks. It's gonna take us a little bit, but we can probably stay there for the night. And we have news to deliver. Ella and Ephraim are on the bridge, discussing something as they look at the flowing, clear stream. They welcome you politely and ask about your day. I have some good news for you. I helped the boys from Foggy's catch a large bird that will soon be brought here. While you try and stay to the point, Ephraim is full of energy. He asks about every detail, from the animal's size to the way it acted in combat. Your brief answers are met with shouts, echoed by silent bounces of the wolf's head. It was a brave venture. I'm glad they didn't try it without you. Ella gestures for the hunter to drop it. Thank you for giving us time to prepare. I was also told to ask for 1 dragon bone. I don't mean to be stingy, but I'm very fucking hurt. Aye, of course. The carpenter looks around. Pay for the messenger. Just give me a minute. He scurries away as quickly as his thick legs allow him. We don't carry dragons with us, the hunter explains. So how large is the beak? Something like this? He demonstrates the size with his hands, and for another few minutes showers you with questions. Finally, the dragon bone finds its place in your hand. I'll get to preparation soon, concludes Ella, gasping for air and leaning against the railing while Ephraim lopes away, apparently to prepare the animal pen, as there's no time to waste. The carpenter invites you to follow him to his working station. Oh yeah, we should probably tell people that Old Pagos is okay. Oh, could you help us clear out the eastern path? Did you face any troubles? I cleared the bushes leading east of the old stone bridge. His eyes widen and he looks left and right, then whispers, Why would you do such a thing? Someone may now think there's a path up there. I need that path. I need to talk to them. He observes you in silence, then gives up. Well, I'll trust a Roadwarden's judgment. Wait here for a bit, if you may. He puts away his tools and heads to a distant building. Once he returns, he's holding a wooden plank. Take this and leave it somewhere on the trail at the bridge, will you? Maybe tie it to a tree? He hands you an old sign covered with dark reddish paint. Blood there, you think, then ask him if it's not too dark. It's the only paint we can squeeze out from the plants of our meadows, he admits, and then gets back to his work. I will do it. Good to see you don't idle around, Roadwarden. I encountered a fallen tree in the far south. You describe its exact location. I guess it was unavoidable for this to happen at one point or another. Too bad it's so far away from here. He stops his work and turns towards you. So, would you like to help us with that, friend? You ask him what he proposes, and he describes what he calls a day of honest work. Just come to me someday in the early hours. I still need to discuss this with the tribe, but I'll ask the stronger folks to travel with you to the tree. They'll agree if they feel like the roads can be trusted. Split it into blocks, get it into wagons, bring it here. It won't go to waste, and the roads will be cleaned. When you mention it's going to take an entire day, he agrees, and you'll get 5 dragon bones for it. Just come to me when you're healthy, and only if you already know what's on the route from here to that point. We'll put a lot of trust into your guidance and protection, Yabby. So you want me to get to know the entire route, make sure it's safe enough for your tribe to follow it, and come here in the morning, but only if I can handle the journey. Quite a list, but fine, we'll see. He thinks about your words, then reaches for his case. You're right, that's a lot. I can't help you much, but at least you deserve 1 bone right away for bringing me the message. Maybe buy some rations for it, or a good rest. Actually, we also need at least 1 day to prepare ourselves. Okay, that's time. We can wait. Oh, we need 2 vitality to do that. Well, maybe we could do it tomorrow? Okay, I'll let you know if there's anything else. I've helped clear the plague from Old Pagos. It may not be a safe place, but it will survive. Ella's grin is soon followed by his raised voice. And you're serious? Everyone! He addresses the other people working near the square. Tell the others, the plague is gone. We're safe. After his eyes return to you, he clears his throat and turns away again. Old Pagos is safe. I should probably go talk to other people about this too, right? Wasn't there someone who wanted to go back there? You explain briefly what happened, and he spends a few good moments considering the old druid's part. I wouldn't expect someone from Howlers to help another soul in need, he says while his hand clenches at the bottom part of his cloak. Not since they're ruled by a tyrant. But it's not the first time this forest speaker has protected the peninsula from a grave threat. He smiles at you. And so did you, I guess. You guess? What the fuck? Dude, I'm struggling here. I'm doing my best. Can I place a rod? He grabs the rod and looks at it with caution. I wouldn't call her our friend, exactly. You'd do better selling this. Swinging it left and right like a club. Maybe don't do that, it's a magic rod. He tells you to wait. It can't just be my decision. I'm going to ask the others. At least a few of them. You rest at a table and observe how the man approaches various souls and exchanges a few words with them. It takes him so long, you manage to get bored enough to indulge a little girl who'd like to pet Joffrey. The man returns without the rod. Well, my tribe calls you a fair soul. He smiles and wipes the sweat off his forehead. We'll put it at the watchtower. There aren't that many birds that would steal something of this size. Awesome! Now for the dangerous question, have you ever heard of the tribe of the Green Mountain? A chisel falls out of his hand. When he reaches for it, he looks around, making sure there's no one around. Not really. When I was a kid, I saw the older tribesfolk speaking with them, in the old speech, I think. They aren't around anymore, but I've heard we owe them a lot. And I'm not gonna snitch on them. I'll see you later. What else to do? Let me talk to the hunter. We don't have a lot of time. About the hunters. Do you recognize this knife? He reaches for it without thinking twice, then brings it close to his face, studying the tiny details of the bone. I do, he whispers. It belonged to Admin's mother. He lowers it, but holds it tightly. But she's not around anymore. Where was it? He keeps chipping in until you tell him to listen to the end. He respects your wish, though he frowns so much that you wonder if he can see you. So there's no shell, only a ghoul. Everyone knows what that means. He'll wake up soon. He shakes his head, as if to drop the thought. I'm gonna stay quiet. Thanks for your help, friend. After these words, Ephraim is unusually quiet. I still need to find Dahlia. Okay, she's the bravest, looking for beasts in the open by the roads. Okay, so by the roads, maybe. Maybe if she went into the heart of the forest? We'll keep looking. I'll tell you if I find anything. Are we done here? I think... Do you know any of the creatures that live on High Island? How could I, friend? I haven't been there. He suddenly looks at the sky, raises his hand, and starts to tap on the wolf's head. But the harpies... Aye, they're common on the coast and on open waters. I saw them from Gale Rock's beach. Rocks and sticks don't fly well when thrown upward. A bow would be a safer bet. But that's so fucking expensive, Ephraim. I was wondering about Ella, though. He scratches the wolf's head, then nods. He's boring, you know that, and hides a lot behind those smiles of his. He spends days in the workshop, thinking we may be both as weak as we are now and smart enough to prosper. There's work to be done, he mimics the carpenter's cadence. Aye, there always is. You want to ask about the weakness, but he gives you no time to speak. There's almost no folks from the older generations left, did you notice? Foggy and old Heva are the only two still capable of doing work, but they aren't getting any younger and are already wounded. You think about the tavern keeper's lost arm. We were always lacking in numbers, blades, tools, and skills. The beasts took many souls, but Ella won't talk about it. He'd rather forget them and tie this place to the other villages, making us merchants and rotten carpenters. He adjusts his cloak, boiling from frustration, then risks the lives of the younger tribesfolk on training and hunting. We've suffered so much, yet we're becoming even weaker. He calms himself down with silence. Have you ever met the tribe of the Green Mountain? He leans away, gives you a surprised look, then shrugs so nonchalantly that his hat falls off his back. Nah, they use the old speech. It sounds like a drinking song of a seagull. He scoffs at his own joke. They only talk to our elders, like Foggy, he whispers. Aye, though, don't call her that. There was a time when they gave us seeds and spears on a visit, and we also brought them gifts to ask for something. What was it? After he prates a bit, you change the topic. What did you give him? What'd you give them, please? I need to know. Let me talk to Heva. She's standing next to the stream, speaking with another farmer who leaves her once you get closer. They don't have any rooms to rent. I need supplies. Fish trap or roast chicken. That's really yummy. Would that be a good gift? It's only 1 gold. It's only 1 dragon bone. I'll buy it. I bought a roast chicken. Why'd I do that? Why'd I do that? A spiced whole meal made by an experienced cook. And we have a healing potion. Maybe one of those will interest them. Farewell. What about Shoshi? She's preparing for work, but is ready to give you a few moments. Tell her about Marina from Gale Rocks. Well, you've found quite the someone, friend, and I've heard a lot of good things about her home, but this right talk makes me worried. Are you sure she'd be ready to keep our bonds loose? Seeing your shrug, she sighs. Tell her about me. Don't hide my plans, just speak of me kindly. She laughs. If she wants to have fun with me, I'll make her life warmer, and I love kids. For the first time, her smile becomes humble and kind instead of playful. I try to recall Marina's message. Then I guess it's not meant to be. She shakes her head with disappointment. I'm glad you opened this chance for me, friend, but there are parts of me I'm not willing to change. Still, I'll make sure the tribe hears about your help. She suddenly raises her axe and shouts, Hey you! She addresses no one in particular, but her powerful voice makes everyone stop. Yabby did me a big favor, eh? Be nice. A few people smile or scoff, and life goes on. And if you want to bring Marina my answer, she rests her chin on the top of her blade, tell her, think it over, for I can make every day of yours sweet and light if you're ready to breathe fully. Oh my, farewell. I will let them know. Can I seek shelter somewhere? You can't sleep here, but there's still time to travel to a safer spot. Okay, we need to go back to Foggy Lake. Perhaps for the best. We can't get anywhere else. We should go here to do the bug, and then maybe go up here and see if we can give the gift. But I think that, perhaps, we'll have to wait for next time. We've done a lot of traveling. We found a whole new place. We hunted the new bird thing. Survived barely. But I think in the morning... Okay, what we're gonna do. This is my idea. In the morning, we wake up. We go to creeks. Because we'll have more vitality, I think, maybe? And then, hopefully, I don't want to use the healing potion if I don't have to, but we'll travel once we have 2 vitality, and what we're going to do, we're going to wake up, we're going to travel 2 creeks if we can get to 2 vitality, do that whole quest, and then we'll see about if any of these would be a good gift. I think that's our best bet. So let's see. How much time do we have? We have an hour. What if I make another healing potion? 2 dragon bones. Preparation time 3 hours. We don't have enough time. Maybe tomorrow. But now we know where to do this. So that's good. Finally, it only took me forever. I approach Foggy. She still doesn't want to tell me stuff. Let's just get some rest. How many rations do we have? We have 3. That's not bad. Let's sleep. Oh, we will get vitality. Okay, we can do that. Oh, the rains once again hit the ground, interrupting your sleep. No, not the muddy roads on the day we need to go do stuff. Listening to the grunts of an annoyed Joffrey makes you feel uneasy, but at least the furs covering the floor are helping you relax. You don't even notice when it's already morning, and while the smell coming from the lower floor is not inviting, at least it's not you who has to take care of it again. Oh, the days are getting shorter too, I saw that. Oh, great. Alright, well, we go outside. We know what we have to do. So, plan for next time, and I'm actually going to write this down so I remember. We have 2 vitality. We're going to go to creeks. We're going to finally get rid of that frickin' tree. And after that, unless we have to take everyone, it's going to take a whole day. So that's going to be a whole day, which I don't want to say is wasted, but we are running short on time. I don't like that. We'll just have to do our best. But we have that to get done. But once we do that, I want to go to the watchtower, put the bug repellent there, and then maybe we can see if possibly either the roast chicken or the healing potion would be a good gift. Or maybe we should go to Old Pagos first and see if we could get a gift from them. I don't know. And I still don't even know how to get a boat. There's a lot of stuff we need to figure out, and we only have like 22 days left to do it. Less than a month. Oh, goodness. But we'll figure it out, and we'll start to figure it out next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourself, be careful when grappling giant birds, and have a good day.